Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Walters, and this is lesson 2, so day 2 of our reading. Don't forget that here we are in the virtual classroom, and it's just our reading space. And it says right here, here's all of our books, and it says mistakes are proof that you are trying. So it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay. Reading is hard sometimes, but it's okay to make mistakes and just to keep persevering and figuring out those words. Don't forget on the next slide that there are these dates wrong. That there are these links right here to take you to some reading websites for you to check out. And let's get started for today. Our target says, remember, a target is what you are going to learn today and what your job is. So what you're focused on and what you need to do by the end of this lesson. Today I am learning about different types of books. So yesterday we learned that we are all readers and that you are going to dive into books today, but we're going to learn that there are different types of books. And we're doing that so that I can understand what I learn from different books. So there's different types of books and they teach us different things. And I will know I've got it when I can tell a fact that I learned from a Learn About the World book. So one of the types of books that we are going to learn about today is called a Learn About the World book. And your job today is to learn one thing from that book. Okay, so keep that in mind as we move through. All right, so let's talk a little bit. Right here we have 2 different books about frogs. Okay, this one is called Frogs, and I want you to think about what you see there. And then this one is called Frog and Toad Together. So this one is also about frogs. So think about there are different types of toys. There's Hot Wheels, there's Barbies, and even if you are talking about cars and trucks, there's Hot Wheels that are tiny, and then there's the big monster trucks, there's RC cars. Those are all types of cars, but they're different. So just like that, with toys, there are also different types of books. So today we're going to learn about storybooks and learn about the world books. So if we were looking at these, we would see that this has a actual photograph, so a real picture of a frog. So this book, and I even have it right here, this book is going to be a Learn About the World book because it is actually going to teach us about the world. So this is a Learn About the World book. Now the other frog book, Frog and Toad Together, this is a storybook. So it's just going to tell us a story. It doesn't have any facts about frogs. It's just going to tell us a story. You can also say that these are nonfiction books because they are not made up, and these are fiction books because they are made up stories. So we have Learn About the World books and storybooks. So today we're going to focus on the Learn About the World books. So we did, going back to our target, we did just learn about the 2 different types of books, but we're going to focus in on the Learn About the World books today. So as you look at this book, what do you think this book is going to teach us about? Because Learn About the World books teach us about something. So what do you think this book will teach us about? Yeah, it's going to teach us about frogs. So we're going to read a little bit of the book, not all of it, and then we're going to talk about some of the things that we learned from the book. Now, one thing that Learn About the World books have that storybooks do not have right here is a table of contents. This is the table of contents, and it tells us where we can find different information. So, like if I wanted to learn about what frogs eat, then I would go right here where it says Frog Food, page 12. Then I could go to page 12 down at the bottom, and this is all about what frogs eat. So let's read a little bit about what frogs eat. What is a frog's favorite food? And usually it's insects. Frogs eat dragonflies and crickets and other bugs. Some frogs eat bigger animals like worms and mice. The American bullfrog even eats other frogs. So one thing that you'll notice about the Learn About the World books is that they have actual photographs. So they have real pictures of whatever the topic is that they're learning. What is that pink flash? It's how a frog catches bugs. It shoots out its long, sticky tongue at a passing bug. The frog pulls the bug into its mouth. If your tongue were as long as a frog's, it would reach to your belly button. So that's something that I didn't know until I read this book. So this book is teaching me about the world. That's why it's called a Learn About the World book. Every size and color. Frogs can be many different sizes. The smaller frog is as big as a fingernail. The largest is as big as a rabbit. So the largest frog is as big as a rabbit. The smallest is as tiny as your fingernail. Frogs can be different colors too. Some are green or brown. Others have stripes or spots. Frogs can be red, yellow, or orange. They can even be bright blue. Watch out, this is my favorite page of the book. These colorful frogs may look pretty, but watch out. These frogs have poison in their skin. Their bright color warns enemies not to eat them. So this is a poison dart frog, and so are these. So the poison, that's why they're a different color. It warns the other animals not to eat them. All right, so that's just some of this Learn About the World book. We're not going to read all of it today. So I want you to think about, what did this book teach you? All right, remember going back to our anchor chart from yesterday about reading. Remember that we are all readers. You're already a reader. And we look, we think, we read, and we learn. So we just put all of those things together. We looked at the pictures in the book. We thought about them, what we were looking at. We read the book, and that taught us some things. We learned. So we learned some facts from that Learn About the World book. So now it's your turn. So today for your guided practice, you are going to, right here, you're going to pull out this book that is inside of your baggie that you received at open house. The title is Green, and it actually has a frog on it. So your job right now, during this guided practice time, is that you are going to take this book and you are going to read it with someone at your house. So you can read it with your mom, your dad, your nana, your papa, your aunt, your babysitter, your older brother or sister, whoever it is. I want you to read through the pages of this book. I'm going to give you a hint to the pattern. So on the first page right here, it says, "This green snake." So then the pattern is going to continue on the next page. "This green leaf." Do you see the pattern yet? I'll read one more page and then I'm going to send you off to practice with someone. "This green moss." I know the pictures are kind of hard to see. So your job right now is to go off and read this Learn About the World book with someone in your home for your practice time. And I want you to think about and talk to that person about something that you learned. So maybe something that you learned that was green. Okay? So you can pause this video and then hop back on after you've done that. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed your reading your book about green. Now your independent practice today is you're going to pull out your other Learn About the World book. So I know this is a Learn About the World book because it has a real photograph. The title is Going Places, okay? So you're going to read this. We'll read it together. And then you guys are going to practice it on your own and think about something that you learned. It says, "You can go on a plane." You can go on a train. So So each page has a pattern. The only thing that's changing, and we'll get more into this as we move along, the only thing that's changing is the picture and the word that goes along with the picture. You can go on a, if I use my picture clue, boat. You can go in a car. You can go in a bus. You can go on a bike. And last page, or two more. You can go on a skateboard. You can go on a horse. So your job is to read that and then think of something that you've learned. So when we come back together for our Google Meet time, I might call on some of you to read some of the pages of the book. And I also want you to be ready to share something that you learned from either the Frog book that you didn't know, something that you learned from the Green book, or something that you learned from Going Places. Okay? So let's go back and think about our reflection time. I do have a Learn About the World book that I want you to check out. So you can follow this link right here and you'll have someone read it to you. Or you can check out where I have read it to you on the Google Classroom. So you can listen to me read it or you can watch it here. But you'll need to listen to that book for the lessons that are coming up. So that is also a Learn About the World book. So if we go back to our target, did we learn about the different types of books today? So we have, this is a Learn About the World book because it's teaching us about beetles. Or you could look at this one. This is a Learn About the World. It's teaching us about frogs. And then we have this type of book. This is just a story book, just like the one that was Frog and Toads. This is just for fun. It's just a story for us to read. So we did that so that you could understand what you can learn from different books. So you learn facts from this book, but this book, we just learn how to tell a story, and we learn about characters. And I will know I've got it when I can tell a fact that I learned from an All About the World book. So it can be your Frog book or your other two books, whichever book that you want. I just want you to be able to tell me one fact that you learned, okay?